Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back. Today I'm bringing you a RU battle. I've been waiting for some RU battles, and I actually found an RU battle on Showdown versus Kaoru. He has his own channel. His channel link is going to be in the description, so check him out. Leave a like for him and also for me, so this channel could just grow, you know. And I'm actually using a very interesting team. Like when I Showdown, I used this team for suspect testing. I wanted to record, but I did a whole bunch off screen because it's like I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So I'm actually using a freaking Kobalian Assault Vest Luxray, who I thought was UU, but he's RU, so I'm definitely using freaking Luxray. I love Luxray. Pangoro, which is Choice Bandit, and I wanted to bring Mawile just to counter Dragalge. I'm not sure if she's banned yet, because I haven't got on the suspect testing in a while. And Mega Sceptile, he is RU, so I'm using my Mega Sceptile, and I was lacking special attacker, so I needed a good special attacker. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the battle. So I figured that the best person to lead off with would be my freaking Kobalian, since my Kobalian can go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks. I need these Stealth Rocks up because I want some hazards. I don't want them switching out in between this Jellicent and the Wheezing. So he leads off with this Jellicent, which is kind of bad for me. Well, not bad for me, but he goes for a Scald on my Kobalian and he gets burned first turn. That sucks. I didn't want my Kobalian to be burned, as this is just going to wear it out. It doesn't really matter because he's not a physical attacker. He just comes in, sets up Stealth Rocks, goes for Volt Switch. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for Volt Switch, and based on his core and how much damage he took, I know this thing is special defensive, because he does have a Wheezing as a defensive wall. So at this point, I'm going to go out into Sceptile, knowing he's probably going to go for another Scald, as I could take another Scald, as he actually sets up a Trick Room. And that just sucks. I hate this. A lot of my Pokemon are very speedy, and now that this Trick Room is up, I'm in a bad situation. So this Jellicent is out. I knew he was going to switch out, so I decided to just go for the strongest move I could go for, which is Leaf Storm, and just in case he didn't switch out, thinking he could probably take a Giga Drain, I didn't want to go for a Dragon Pulse and risk anything. Also, he has a Fairy type on his team, so I just went straight for a Leaf Storm, and that's going to do a good chunk to the Wheezing. And this Wheezing is a threat. I do not have that. I have a whole bunch of physical attackers on my team, and only like 2 special attackers, and one is Kobalian, and all he has is Volt Switch. So at this point, I feel like he's just going to go for a Sludge Bomb, because that's the best thing to go for. So I'm going to go out into my Kobalian to take that, and even if he went for a Will-O-Wisp, I can take that too because I'm already burned. But he just goes for a Flamethrower on my Kobalian, and that's just going to do a whole heap of damage. And he can't take another one. I really didn't think it would be best to switch out, because I don't want anybody to take a Flamethrower or him predicting and going for Will-O-Wisp. So I just stayed in and let my Kobalian die, because it set up the Stealth Rocks and it really doesn't have much else to do. He does have Thunder Wave, but in Trick Room, that's not going to do too much, except for probably gets the Para Hacks, but I know my luck, so I didn't risk it. So at this point, I'm going to go back out into my Mega Sceptile, because he can go for Flamethrower or Sludge Bomb, but I know he can take either one because of the Dragon typing. And he takes that Flamethrower very well, as I can just go for a Dragon Pulse and most likely take it out. But I know that the Trick Room would fade this turn, so I really didn't have much to risk, as the Trick Room does wear out. And I'm actually going to go for another Dragon Pulse. I really wanted to predict them switching out, but I didn't really want to. I didn't want to make a mistake. So he goes out into his Aromatisse, and this Aromatisse is just going to not be affected by this Dragon Pulse. So I have to switch out because I can't do anything versus this, and he can go for a Fairy type move and take out my Sceptile. So I'm going to go out into my Dual Blade, as he's going to set up Trick Room, which is still unfortunate. I thought that my Dual Blade would be slower. I'll outslow him, so I go first. So at this point, I know he's going to switch out. There's nothing you can do to my Dual Blade, even if he goes for Flamethrower. I can take that with the Eviolite. So I just felt I should go for a Swords Dance, as I am going to get off the Swords Dance as he switches out into a Scavalier. Of course I'm going to get him off. dual blades are freaking bulky as crap, and they're very scary. So he goes for the knockoff. I knew I could take a knockoff very well, and now I know he's still not going to do too much. But as I would just went for a Shadow Claw, and the Scalpelier is slower than Dual Blade. That's just amazing. So I don't have to risk him outspeeding me, going for another knockoff, getting a crit, or pretty much just knocking me out with another move. So I just went for a Shadow Sneak, and that's some good priority. So he goes out into Aromatisse. I really don't know why, because it doesn't matter what this thing goes for. He probably had Flamethrower on this thing and predicted me to switch out. That's why he went for Moonblast, but I just stayed in, took the Moonblast, and went for an Iron Head to get rid of this Aromatisse. Now I know he does not have any more Trick Room users on his team, so that's great. And I can wait for this Trick Room to wear off real soon. Yep, it actually wore off this turn. So he goes out in Jellicent. I know that his Jellicent freaking is faster than me, actually. That's probably why he didn't go for it. Go into his Jellicent, as I can go for a Shadow Sneak and knock this thing out because it is special defensive and not defensive. So this Jellicent goes down. I'm just getting rid of all the threats, as now he goes out into Heliolisk. And I can't use priority, and I really can't switch out because I have nobody that really wants to take on this Heliolisk. As I just stayed in, thinking that I could probably survive in a electric type move, but turns out he actually has Dark Pulse. So my Dual Blade goes down, and he's freaking Life Orb, so I didn't have to worry about him being Choice Specs. So I'm going to go out of my Luxray. I could have went out into another Pokemon, but I decided my freaking Assault Vest Luxray decided he wants some screen time, so I'm going to just go out. I'm already out of my Luxray. I'm just going to go for a Crunch at this point, as he goes for a Volt Switch, and he gets a critical hit. That did nothing to my Luxray. And this Heliolisk goes back, and he actually brings out his Hitmontop, which is pretty bad because it has Intimidate. I don't have too many Pokemon that aren't physical. All I have is Sceptile left, and I'm just going to go for Crunch, and that's going to do a small chunk to Hitmontop, but damage is damage. And I thought that he would go for Rapid Spin so he can bring back in his Weezing, so I went out into my Sceptile. And also thinking that he had Earthquake. I could survive an Earthquake, but he actually just goes straight for a close combat. And that's going to knock out my Sceptile. And at this point I know this thing is most likely full attack and all out attack. Because usually a defensive Hitmontop would do about 50% to Sceptile. So I'm going to go back out into my Luxray and intimidate this thing so he's not going to be doing too much. And I'm going to go for a freaking Wild Charge, because that's the best move. He doesn't have any switch-ins for it. Even his Heliolisk will not take an adamant Luxray's Wild Charge, as I go for the Wild Charge versus this thing, and it knocks it out. Even what is a resist? So this Heliolisk goes down. I'm having less and less to worry about each turn. As I'm going to take the recoil. I'm still not in range to be taken out. So this Hitmontop comes right back out and intimidates my freaking Luxray. How do you intimidate a Luxray? Luxrays are intimidating as hell. He's a freaking golden freaking tiger. I don't know what he is. So I'm going to go out into my Bronzong. No, he's most likely going to go for a close combat. But he actually goes for a Rapid Spin. He really wants to bring back in that Weezing, as I wanted to set back up my Stealth Rock, but I don't want that Weezing coming in, outspeeding me, going for a Pain Split, and pretty much getting back up to the health that I really can't handle it. So I went straight for a Gyro Ball, since it'll do a whole bunch of damage to Hitmontop, and there's no risk to it. So I'm going to hit this Weezing with a Gyro Ball on the switch in and take it out. So at this point I knew I could win this match, because Hitmontop, I still have my Luxray, as it can intimidate my freaking Bronzong, but that doesn't matter. I can just keep going for Gyro Balls to weaken this thing for my Luxray to come in and beat it. So he does go for the close combat, and that knocks me really, really low. And I'm just going to go straight for a Gyro Ball, and that's going to do some chip damage to it. But like I said, damage is damage. Just weakening it for a Luxray to come in and take it out. As he's going to keep going for close combat, and that's lowering his defense, his special defense. And that, you see a nice max to min right here, as he allowed me like 55% before now. I survived the next close combat, as The Gyro Ball does a lot more damage because he is -2 defense, even if I'm -1 attack. So he's going to go for the close combat to take me out. And that Bronzong goes down. It did its job. It took out the Weezing. That's nice. I didn't think that he would be the one to take out the Weezing. I actually didn't want to bring out my Bronzong before because his Weezing could get a pain split off against it. So now I'm going to go out into my Luxray. I'm going to intimidate this Hitmontop. So his attacks won't be doing much. I actually find out this thing is pretty dang fast, and he's going to go for close combat on this. I actually thought it would kill for a second, but I survived thanks to the freaking Intimidate drop. I'm actually glad I had Intimidate on this thing. I was thinking about putting the other ability. I forgot the other ability that Luxray gets. Does it get another ability? But this Hitmontop goes down, and that's a good game. I actually want to do more RU battles. If you want to challenge me to an RU battle, then comment in here that you want to challenge me. I go against you. So that was a nice battle, Kaoru. If y'all want to see more, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that. And thanks for watching. We're so close to 200 subscribers. And when I hit 200 subscribers, there will be a freaking shiny giveaway coming up. So thanks for watching.